Family Crisis Center of East Texas is collecting food to try to help provide meals for survivors of domestic abuse and sexual assault. East Texas News' Vanessa Johnson explains that the center's Safe House pantry is running low, and they're starting to see an increase in people who need their services.
Inside of the Safe House pantry at the Family Crisis Center of East Texas in Lufkin, you'll find a variety of food and a few bare shelves. Shelter manager Greg Sims says right now they are feeding 35 people 3 meals a day.
We're close to capacity, if not at capacity, through mid-October through the first part of the next year.
As a way to help provide those meals, the center is hosting a food drive, collecting donations for their pantry. Shelf-stable food like pasta, cereal, canned food, and holiday foods are welcome. So donations really help?
Oh, tremendously.
They have a 39-bed shelter, but can house up to 44 people who are survivors of domestic abuse as well as sexual assault.
Everybody here has been through some sort of trauma. Then you move them into a dorm-like environment.
Sims says by providing meals and snacks for adults and children, families can sort of feel at home.
Sometimes those little things, the home-cooked meals, the snacks whenever they want them, those type of things where it makes it feel a little more comfortable.
They make a weekly trip to grocery stores. Donations they receive are factored into the shopping list. He says families give input on the weekly menu and help with cooking, so a meal can sometimes go beyond just a bite to eat.
Those kind of things make them feel like they have a voice and they're able to kind of contribute. It just kind of helps ease into the new life that we want them to build into.
Vanessa Johnson, East Texas News.
You can scan the QR code you see there on your screen to learn more about that food drive. You can also go to our website and click on the big red box.